New reports are out regarding the rates of teen suicide. They're quadrupling in the past 10 years, and it seems to be a mental health issue that that more teens and young adults are dealing with now. Last week, after posting a heartbreaking message to social media, 19-year-old Southern University freshman Orlana, did I say that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Orlana Miller. She passed away. Screenshots of Miller's troubling Instagram post appeared to show the young woman expressing frustration about the struggles that she endured over the last year, from contacting COVID-19, to failing all of her classes and other issues that left friends and family wondering how did they miss the signs. Now, joining us this morning is licensed clinical therapist Crystal Mullen-Johnson, our personal, and I'm proud to say she's our personal family therapist. She is the CEO and founder of Strive Counseling Services in Birmingham, Alabama, and she's a Sarah from Mississippi. I absolutely love Crystal, where she provides mental health counseling to individuals, couples, and families. So, Crystal, give a big round of applause. Crystal Mullen. Good morning.
Thank you so much for the introduction.
Hey, Crystal.
I am from Demopolis, Alabama. Just wanted to correct that.
I'm sorry, Demopolis, Alabama. I don't know. You a Delta, Rita Brent a Delta, Kayla. I get all y'all.
I know exactly what you were doing. Yeah.
Right, but thank you. First of all, let me just say thank you for what you have done for my family. Me, my kids, everybody that I send you to, everybody come back like, wow, my whole life has changed. This is like the best therapist ever. And we've been talking a lot about mental health this month. So please define mental health and mental illness.
Definitely. So mental health and mental illness is sometimes interchanged, but our mental health is our overall well-being, and it impacts our thoughts, emotions, and our behavioral responses. So a mental illness is diagnosed by a medical doctor, for example, a psychiatrist or psychologist. And some of the common mental illness are depression, which we often hear about, anxiety, schizophrenia, ADHD, and post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, good.
So those are some of the common ones, yes.
Right.
So from what you've seen from your research, what are some of the main causes that are affecting our teens when it comes to mental health?
Some of the main causes is induced stress. Also, just a difficulty coping with life. And we have to be aware that children respond to stress based on how their parents are responding to stress. We have seen a heightened response to depression and anxiety, resulting in changes in our environment. And kids have a difficult time coping. So COVID has resulted in many struggling. We have seen a rise in suicide, specifically in children. For example, kids have not been able to effectively, communicate their feelings, possibly because they don't have the resources. So we want to be aware as parents the challenges that kids are struggling with. And I just want to mention there's an increased suicide rate among Black children ages 10 to 13-year-olds. And we have seen this triple, especially in Black females, as we were just talking about Orlana Miller, and kids that are in grades 9 to 12 are 60% more likely to commit suicide. So I think it has a lot to do with isolation, loneliness, loss of identity, depression, and anxiety.
Well, what are the good practices that should be followed when parents allow teens to have social media accounts?
Right. Yeah, some of the good practices, first of all, parents should be aware of the social media outlets that their kids have access to. And parents need to closely monitor that and engage their children in conversations about the content that they're posting, but just engage your kids in conversations on a day-to-day basis, checking in with them, asking, how are you doing? Do you need support? And even, checking in with their teachers, because sometimes behaviors are exhibited in isolated environments, so they can be struggling in the context of the school environment and not at home, like dealing with bullying, for example. So parents want to be aware of the mental health struggles that their kids are having and pay attention to isolation. And I think that is a huge warning sign and changes in their friendship groups. So parents just want to stay close in communication with the kids and be aware of how they are utilizing technological communication and who they are communicating with. So I recognize that some parents don't know what's going on. Some parents are overworked, burnt out, and by the time they arrive home, they're ready to, collapse and, go to bed. But what they need to do is spend time with their children in conversation so they can be available to provide mental health support to them.
Something simple as that. Gary, you had a question? Did you?
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, first of all, Crystal, we were talking about, how people were saying that, that they don't know and they didn't see the signs. You would never see the signs, would you? Because I just can't, because people that want to commit suicide and do what they're going to do, they know how to hide it.
Well, I don't think it's hidden. I think it can be noticeable, but we have to be attentive to what our loved ones are saying, or people that we know are in conversation. It could be simple as, I want to die, or, I feel guilty or shame about a particular act or behavior, or I don't want to be a burden to others. I feel worthless. I feel unloved. It's simple statements like that is often overlooked. I don't have family support. Life is not worth living. And we want to look for sadness. Sometimes it's difficult to recognize those sad emotions in kids because, they are forced to go about their normal day of life, but also they can be struggling in silence. Right. So that's why those conversations are important, and friends need to pay attention to what their friends are speaking of, and employers need to listen to what their employees are saying because it truly, truly matters, and it can be recognized.
I think we need to stretch this conversation. I don't know what your availabilities are, but we need to have you on again before this month is out. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let everybody know real quick how people can follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me on Facebook, Strive Counseling, Instagram, Strive_Counseling, Twitter, Strive_C. And also for mental health support, if you know someone that's in a crisis, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. And also, just to mention, I have a mental health therapeutic journal, the 21-day journey to strive for a healthier you for mental health support that can be purchased on Amazon. And just remember not to suffer in silence. And for those that,
Yeah, no. We'll come back. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Crystal Mullins.